Hey everybody, what's up? It is Tundex back for a bit of a discussion with some of my friends here. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Oh well, I'm just Royz.
Just
I'm
Royce.
Dr.
Just
ZimZam.
look, I get it. Royz has no, there's numbers in it afterwards, but let's not talk about that.
All right, all right. And we got Royce and who else?
Dr. ZimZam.
Dr. ZimZam. So, if you watch Neo GameSpark stuff, they were also in a live stream that we did on Monday talking about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And wouldn't you know it, a little bit after the Breath of the Wild cast that we did, we get news of wonderful, wonderful DLC that Nintendo is going to grace us with for Breath of the Wild. That will be 1999. So if you haven't kept up with it, this expansion pass, just for getting the expansion pass, you get three new treasure chests that are in the Great Plateau. And it have useful items, one thing including an exclusive Nintendo Switch shirt that Link can run through the Great Plateau and Hyrule in. You also get DLC Pack 1 in summer, which will have a new Cave of Trials challenge, which, is usually in the game. And, sorry, I don't want to get to... Sorry. The next one, a new hard mode and an additional map feature, whatever the hell that is. And then DLC Pack 2, there's new story, a new dungeon, and additional challenges. So, I will let one of you guys take the reins and speak about how you feel about this first.
Um, I guess I'm very put off by it. It is a very modern business practice that I fell for once with Borderlands 2, but they made it worth it, which is surprising. Most of the time with these kind of things, they don't really make it worth it too much. It's more so they just want to get the extra money, right, from people spending a lot in pre-ordering.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be worth it because I haven't seen anything from Nintendo that could prove they have what it takes to make a season pass worth all the money
Yeah,
that you're going to put into it.
there
I,
has been some individual DLC, but nothing big as a season pass I've seen.
okay, I will say for season pass, they have done one before with okay, it kind of pisses me off at the same time, but Hyrule Warriors had a pass for it as well, and that you got loads of characters and lots of extra playtime. And I mean, if that's your cup of tea, if you want to just keep on doing the same thing over and over again, there you go. You get a lot of extra content, lots of different maps and stuff, and it was really worth the money because they kept trickling stuff out and you got a bunch. And then, however, they made the Hyrule Warriors on the 3DS that does not have all the stuff. Well, it has all the stuff from the Wii U, but if you want to get all the stuff that's added to that version, the less optimized version, you had to buy the 3DS version, and they didn't add DLC from the 3DS version to the Wii U, which was dumb in my opinion, but still had good value with DLC, as well as Mario Kart had pretty decent DLC too. Other than those two games, I can't really think of anything that really had quality DLC.
Would you include Smash? I mean, individual characters and stages
I mean,
for their price.
for the price, no, I wouldn't call that quality, honestly.
Well, I'm
If they
not
had
big on
done a
characters.
season pass, yes, to where you could get everything for a cheaper price, but I feel like you just had to spend too much money on down the line to get everything, and I still haven't gotten everything, and I don't want to. And it's just like, I don't know about that one, man. That felt like they were nickel and diming us like crazy.
I want to touch on the whole Smash thing that relates to my opinion on the DLC overall. When you have DLC like that, like small, consistent DLC that's released separately from each other installment, you kind of fracture the game's content. With Smash, in a sense, you actually fracture the community, right?
Yeah.
So, in order to be somewhat competitive, or not even competitive, but have the full experience of the game, you have to spend that much more money picking up that many separate bits to have the full experience. Same experience most everybody who's really into it is going to be having, right? In order to understand what it's like to fight this character or to figure out how they play, you have to buy it. It's not just for one. It's for what? How many extra did they release? Like 3.
That's a Roy's question.
We got
Roy,
Bayonetta. We got Corrin, Ryu. Well, there's about 6, not 7.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, you go to like a friend's house and they don't have all the characters, or a character you put a lot of time into because they simply don't care about the others. Like that's very skeevy. Like I don't like that whatsoever. But I like downloadable content when it's an expansion on the base game.
Agreed.
My best example when it comes to that are I have 2 of them. One being the Burning Crusade. I have to talk about WoW, just throw that in there. It was amazing what they added into that and expanded upon. But also the Shivering Isles for the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That was actually followed by the Horse Armor DLC, which was the first instance of its kind with, trying to nickel and dime people for small, like,
Wow, I don't even remember it.
Yeah, it was this huge controversy at the time. But then they released the Shivering Isles and it kind of blew over.
Oh, what about Diablo 2's Lore of Destruction expansion?
That was, again, they were called expansions.
Yeah, they blew, like, oh yeah, right.
Back in my day.
Final Fantasy 14, Heaven's Word. Yeah, that too.
It was all expansion.
Yes.
It wasn't, just DLC. It was called downloadable content, but with the expansion pack title that followed it.
The amount of content in there is just so much more staggering compared to what we get nowadays.
And see, while we're talking about MMOs, I don't play WoW. I only play Final Fantasy 14. But in between the expansions, at least in Final Fantasy, we're getting we're getting little patches that add extra content as well. Is it like that in WoW too?
Wait, are those free?
Yeah, they're free. You don't have to pay anything for it.
Like that in WoW. In WoW, they've always introduced major raids, dungeons, and new experiences in between their major expansions. For free. 100%.
Exactly.
And that goes for people who don't even have the actual expansion, but are like the leveling area, I guess.
Yeah.
They get to experience those free huge patch bonuses. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love their business model.
It spoiled me. That has spoiled me.
This makes us look terribly spoiled. Another game is Terraria.
Okay, but going back, touching on the Horse Armor DLC,
Oh God, no.
It sold extremely well.
And I don't know why.
So well, that's the reason why most other companies picked up on it. It was a PR nightmare.
And
they covered it up with the Shivering Isles. People forgot about it, but it still sold like hotcakes.
Yeah.
People loved it. And that's the thing. We might have an entirely different perspective on stuff like the season pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have to consider that we are also minority when it comes to public perception on gaming.
True.
The big audience now doesn't care about being nickel and dime. They only care that, hey, look, more stuff. Might as well spend the money on it, right?
Yeah.
The quality of it doesn't matter.
I am sad to say that I am a sucker, and I bought the DLC for Final Fantasy 15.
Woo! You enjoyed that base game, right? It's unpopular opinion time, isn't it?
We're not going to get into that.
I can't really blame you too much, because there have been games that I've loved and I've spent a little bit too much money.
Whoa. I did not love Final Fantasy 15. Let's put that out there right now.
Oh, shit.
No.
But that's for another day.
Yes.
We can get blamed for that another day.
Okay, I'll talk about Warframe here. Warframe, I spent like $100 on that game, and it's a free game. Shut up. And because I loved it, but it ended up turning into something I just don't recognize as being fun anymore. That's been a waste of $100 for me. Like, I still have an immense amount of platinum sitting on my account that I'm never going to spend, because I don't feel like jumping back into the game and carrying it.
I'll take
But hundreds of dollars versus $20 for a Switch shirt, extra story, a map update, and what's the other thing?
Now, don't gloss over the hard mode.
Oh yeah, hard mode. That's it.
The
No, okay.
Hard mode to Legend of Zelda series. That's not just mirroring the dungeon and changing aspects.
Now, hard mode. That's the thing that's kind of a slap in the face for me.
Yeah, there was
because there's been Master Quest, And then on top of that, there's always hero mode on the Zelda games that you can do, which, that is basically the hard mode. You finish the game and it's hard mode. And I've had some people try to say, "Oh, Resident Evil 7 puts a extra difficulty behind a paywall." But Resident Evil 7 has three difficulties to start. You got normal and easy, and then when you beat it, you have Madhouse. And then
People don't jump into Madhouse immediately because you don't know when you could It's not just the game's harder. So like in Resident Evil 1, you got the limited amount of saves, but it was a genuine experience. The game wasn't harder along with it.
Yeah.
But with that, you're limited on your saves, which means you have to know when you're allowed to use your saves. And the game's also harder than the base game. So that's why it's good to wait for it.
Too.
Yeah.
Like in Madhouse mode, I can give that, or games that have difficulties hidden behind their base artist, because it's usually not just an increase in health HP, or the AI is just
There's
more aggressive.
elements of the game that's
yeah,
changed.
it's entirely different almost.
Like there's more antique coins. There was a part when you had to get the dissection key, if I'm not spoiling it. Before that, you got a few molded, but up until that point, everything was absolutely silent. I was terrified.
Yeah.
And even when I got the key, nothing came at me. I was so scared. I didn't expect it to be that different.
So yeah, it's crazy, but do we think that the new difficulty is actually going to be worth it? Is it worth paying money? And that's half of the whole expansion pass, mind you. You get this little minor thing, and then you get the extra story and stuff. Like what could they do?
In summer 2017, right?
Yeah.
And, do you think that they're going to continue to keep it behind a DLC paywall?
I think
or
so.
do you think they're going to allow you to unlock it down the
This is
line?
Nintendo.
No, come on, seriously. Yeah, he's right. It's Nintendo.
That's fair.
It's gonna stay behind that paywall.
And I'll say this: I'm a big fan of the Metro games, right? And
There we go.
Metro Last Light had a similar debacle with what was it called?
It was a Ranger.
Ranger mode, right? It was like a super hard, no HUD, really intense mode, and I wanted to try it, but I beat the game. I don't want to spend the money. I will never go back and experience that entire thing they designed because you had to purchase it separately. If it was as simple as beating the game and then I unlocked it, and it was that big of a change to the base game as a different experience, I probably would have given it another run, increased my playtime on it. But I'm not going to.
If I remember correctly, initially it was only a pre-order bonus until a couple of months, or if not a month later, they allowed you to buy it as DLC. But up until that point, only people who pre-ordered and bought the game had access to Ranger mode. And I am a big fan of Metro, and I wanted to get that. I would love that extra experience of knowing when to spend my good ammo I use to make purchases. In the regular game, I never did that. But Ranger mode might actually have pushed me to use that because they had a mechanic where you use good ammunition as currency, and you're allowed to use that good ammunition if you get in a bind. And it really works.
Yeah.
But, we'll never know.
Yeah, I will never know because of
I'm not
that.
going to spend the money. I already beat the game. There's no point anymore.
I'm sorry.
Games have, fall-off times, right? You have to keep people playing for a certain amount of time, or, keep them interested depending on your game, right? Like, for horror games, it's shorter. For RPGs, it's longer. And if you want them to replay it, some games don't care. Some games do. A lot of replayability in games as of late, right? But the longer the people are playing your game, the more likely they're going to end up buying the little extra stuff, like maybe some cosmetic DLC or something. But if all you have is blocking off the an extension of their game time, you're not going to appeal to anybody wanting to spend money on your game.
Yeah.
Now they're going to play it and then they're going to be done with it.
Now, one thing that Royz brought up earlier is Nintendo. This is not really their first time hiding extra modes and things behind DLC, and they did it in a really clever way that people didn't think about. You care to talk about that, Royz?
You have to remind me real quick.
Oh God,
Yeah.
Amiibo.
Oh!
Okay, Amiibo. That's right. Oh, yeah. I don't. People are willing to. I mean, there are huge Nintendo fans out there of not just franchises, but the characters, and they're willing to buy these little statuettes, little statues that have the characters on them, and they can be used in the games. But sometimes they're subtle, small things that are neat because, like, when people buy these amiibos, really they just want to put them on a shelf somewhere as a collector's item. But there are little things or things that go unnoticed that people just kind of let happen. Like, one would be in Shovel Knight. I had a friend bring over their Wii U, and they also brought their Shovel Knight amiibo. And I asked them why they brought that. Does it give you extra armor? And they told me that it allowed you to play co-op.
Yep.
I didn't know this, and I was just sitting there thinking, wow, they locked away co-op using amiibos. It's almost DLC.
Yep.
It's a really weird roundabout way to create DLC in that you can't enjoy it as a co-op experience unless you have that amiibo.
Yep.
I was just amazed. I mean, I still played it, but the entire time I just kept thinking about it.
Is that and on Breath of the Wild with the Twilight Princess amiibo, if you got that, it comes. You can have Wolf Link in there, which is further timeline crossing. Nah, no, I'm kidding. All that stuff, but yeah, and then this game is gonna have multiple amiibo. I think they have a Link with the arrow. They have Zelda. They have Link on horseback. They have one of the, I guess you can call them. What are the robot things? What are they called?
It was just called Guardian.
Yeah, the
It was just
Guardians.
called,
Yeah,
Guardian.
and they have all these
And there's
amiibo.
the Bokoblin.
Yeah, yeah,
Goblin.
yeah. I'm like, what are they gonna what are they gonna do? So you get the 1999 DLC. That, by the way, the two expansions you have to buy them in the season pass. You cannot get them separate. But um, and then they're gonna have whatever is going on with the amiibo for Breath of the Wild and the amiibo with Twilight Princess. So it's so much that's going on with this, and if you want to get the full experience, you're already gonna be paying, that's what, 80 plus bucks, depending if you want to get amiibo and stuff too. Just depending what the amiibo do. So I don't know, but yeah, Nintendo, they have been in this DLC game for quite some time. They've just been doing it with amiibo. And like you said, a lot of people just don't realize that it is DLC because they are just getting it for the collector's sake, which honestly I can say I'm one of those. Depending on the character, I have quite a few of them for that reason. But it is what it is. How do we feel about them making this, well, DLC before the game comes out, and they're announcing it, and you can pre-order DLC before the game comes out. So on top of your pre-order for the game, you pre-order the DLC.
So I'll say this in defense of like day one DLC.
Okay.
Right? I actually had a new perspective on this because I was reading some people talk about it online. Once you're done with the game, once the all the assets have been put in, the art, the stuff
Everything they
that
planned for.
yeah. Once everything is completed with the game, it's gone gold and they're shipping it. The only thing left for the people working on it to do is make more content, right? So they're already done with the base game and it's shipping.
It's probably
So
happened
in
like
between-
3 months. No, probably way sooner, way later than that. Like,
Yeah.
how many months?
So like in between the time it's gone gold to when it's been mass produced and it's shipping and has a release date, maybe the coders and the programmers are working on some bugs that they missed and stuff like that for patches. Day one patches are a big thing now.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who do the art, the graphic, the design in the game, who make the levels, that type of thing, they're just kind of sitting around. So sometimes what they'll do is they will just make content. They already have everything available to them, the level builders, editors, and stuff like that. So they'll probably end up talking with some people and say, hey, why don't we just start working on some stuff that we can then release or sell when the game's out and people want some fresh content soon after release, or whatever justification they come up with. But not all some cases companies will just remove a part of a game and then call it day one DLC.
Final Fantasy 15.
But in a lot of instances, it's really just they have extra time. So instead of just sitting back and doing nothing until they're contracted to do an expansion or DLC, they'll just work on some small bits. Maybe that's what we're seeing here. Maybe those some of those the chests and stuff are just some extra stuff the team wanted to work on in between it was done and when it's shipping.
And
We don't know though. We will probably never know.
It's not just that. We don't know the quality or the quantity of it. We don't know how much we're getting.
There's 3.
It's very vague. Like, day 1, we're gonna get our 3 chests with our immersion game breaking Switch shirt. I get that.
Yeah,
But but we don't know exactly what this additional map feature is, or how long the new original story is, or how long the dungeon is. We don't know what the additional challenges is. That's very vague. We don't have a good idea of how much we're getting. And I'll admit, we've seen a lot from simple gameplay. The game looks fantastic. It looks like this huge, wide open world for you
Can't
to just
wait.
jump around and explore. But
It's what a lot of people bought their Wii U for. Oh wait.
yeah, but we just don't know what we're getting with this DLC.
Yeah, and okay, and what I'll say as well, I kind of mentioned the whole Final Fantasy 15 thing. Okay, so I bought the DLC because halfway through Final Fantasy 15, I'm like, you know what, this game is cool. I like it. Then I got to the halfway point when things just kind of start to fall and die after I had bought the DLC, and then I realized, like, oh wait, these are episodes of the separate characters, and each of the separate characters is separated from the story at certain points. So, oh god, they're giving me content that should have been in the game, and I already bought it. So, I don't think that Nintendo is going to take that approach, because as much as I am kind of against this whole season pass, hoobala, whatever that they're doing, Nintendo, they are usually quality. And Nintendo, they usually will bring you something that is worth the money. And I don't think that they're just going to gloss over it and, like, just kind of crap on us, basically. And I think they're going to give us something that's worth some money and worth looking at least. But that's something I'm just going to have to look at down the line. I hope that they don't try to say, like, oh, if you pre-order it, it's $19.99, but if you get it after the game comes out, it's like $25. If they pull some crap like that, boy, I'm on.
You know, I haven't been stung by a main franchise yet, other than Federation Force, and that's not a Metroid Prime game. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not a thing at all.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
But I don't want to believe Nintendo's going to screw us on this one.
No.
Recently, they've been showing some
Yeah,
faults.
I'll say that the game, just The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, looks awesome.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it looks great. Can't
There's
wait.
no doubt. Today's game looks like it's going to be fantastic.
And I'm gonna be mad because I'm gonna be on a field trip when it comes out, and I'm gonna be a day late.
The question is, if the game is as good as every other major installment has ever been, who gives a shit about DLC? If it is as satisfying and as complete as, well, most, if not all, of the other installments of every major Nintendo title is and has been, why would you want to spend the extra $20? Like, what could they possibly be putting in after the fact?
Dude,
There are
That,
some
that lets you,
easy.
like,
easy.
You could be playing the game in a different difficulty.
Well, there are just
to get
moments
your
you can be a blind fan of something. Like, a blind fan, like, you're ready to spend that money because you're a big fan of this. You haven't got stung before. I mean, then you go out and you buy the big old collector's edition of Diablo 3, and you realize that you weren't buying a better Diablo 3.
Sounds like some personal experiences.
Oh yeah, no, me have pain with Diablo.
But that's another day.
It's gonna sell. Like that DLC season pass. Don't let the YouTube dislikes or comments even like concern you with how much this is gonna sell. It is going
that game
to make so much. If the Switch sells to begin with, it's going to
because
make.
the Wii U was a failure.
Yeah. No, this Switch is going to sell decently, I think. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout like some people are saying, or if it's going to be a failure like others are saying. But if the Switch sells even half decent, almost everybody, it's going to have a huge attach rate to begin with, right? With this Legend of Zelda on the Switch.
And it's Nintendo. A lot of kids are ready for that.
And the people who are going to be getting it are probably already going to be hardcore fans, and they're going to pick this up. We, again, aren't the main audience anymore, or at least I'm not. I don't like these kinds of business practices because I see what they can. I see the foreboding aspect of it.
You see him becoming overkill?
Yeah, no. I see what has happened to every other game company I've loved before. Like, look what happened with Diablo, man. Or look what happened with EA. I mean, not EA. What is it? BioWare. Look what happened with a lot of other companies. Payday. Alright?
Overkill, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Overkill.
Oh,
They
yeah.
also developed Dead by Daylight, if anyone knows what that is.
So,
It's a horror
Yeah.
game, and I didn't think they were going to do that, and there we go. We got
It's
characters already
too
locked behind paying DLC.
profitable. It makes too much money, and it's too easy
But-
to not take off with it. And once Nintendo sees that, do you really think they're gonna give a crap what we, like hardcore gamers think, or us people who
Old
care
school.
about the
We're not
people
really
who
old
care
school,
about
but-
the
I
effects
am.
they'll have on titles?
Yeah.
Like they won't care because
From a
we're
business
not the ones
point of
who are
view-
spending millions on it. Like it's gonna sell and it's gonna do well, but that worries me because no matter how much you love Nintendo or how quality their games are,
They're
this
changing.
means that they're going to move forward with that in mind. They're going to make new titles with the idea that it is now okay to have day one DLC. And who's to say that next time it's not going to be more substantial what it is they separate from the base game? If people are going to pay more for it, they're going to do it. Because first and foremost, they're a business. They care about their profit margin more than they care about their fan base. That's every business. As much as I love some businesses, and as much as they do interact and are loving with their community, not to say Nintendo is, because they're not. I mean, look at the YouTube takedowns.
Yep.
But even like some of the best companies, they care about the money they're making because that's what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be keeping themselves alive. And this is going to make the money.
Sometimes you forget it's business first.
Yeah, it is business first.
But Nintendo does care. They care about all the memes and all the "my body is ready" and all that stuff,
I'm
right?
the one guy on Twitter.
That sucks. I won't lie, I like that body is ready meme.
Oh God, Nintendo and their
Forgive me for
memes.
just...
But guys,
I like it.
I have a real question here, and this is really
Alright,
important. With this DLC and with the shirt that you get in the game, the immersion breaking thing, what about the Wii U owners? Is it going to be a constant reminder that the better version of the game is on the Switch and you should be playing it on there? Or are they going to give you a Wii U shirt? Or is that just not going to be there?
Oh yeah,
Are there-
how
are
far
there
does the...
people
Yeah.
gonna get it?
Yeah, they must have planned for it to get on the Switch. I'd have to look at the...
Oh no, it's on Wii U as well. It's on Wii U.
Well, I don't know that.
Yeah,
That makes
no,
sense, I
I'm
guess.
pretty sure they wouldn't screw themselves out of the opportunity to get people who didn't buy a Switch to still spend money,
You're
$20
right. Like
on
they
it.
wouldn't screw themselves on localized games, right?
Look, buddy. They've realized the error of their ways. Their
Have they?
stubborn Japanese practices are still...
Kind of. They kind of. But once again, discussion for another day. But I asked the question, why has Nintendo decided to jump on this whole DLC bandwagon now? Like, are they desperate? Are they trying to catch up? Like, what's going on?
It is,
It is.
in my opinion, 100% desperation. They're just starting to realize that sticking to their old, dated business practices...
Granddad's a gaming, Nintendo, yeah.
It's not going to keep them afloat. I mean, what is it?
And I like them for it, but...
I like them for it, but look at what happened with the Wii U. That they did terribly, but not with, like...
And they were very bitter
Their
about it.
mobile gaming division was keeping them afloat. Like they were doing terribly financially for a little while. Even the CEO, he took a pay cut, which is I think Japanese tradition. They take a pay cut before anyone else. But that is symbolic of what's going on internally, usually with Japanese companies.
It also shows in the fact that the newest console is mobile.
Yeah. And so I think it's them noticing that hey, other gaming companies have this online system that is up to date.
Mhm.
Theirs is not going to be, by the way.
No.
It's never been
I mean, we
any
still don't know
game.
anything, like, 2 weeks out, and we still don't know the online stuff.
There's stuff out there. You
Yeah,
can even
so
go look at a Wikipedia
it-
page, but it's not substantial.
Yeah, it's not modern, but they're trying to make it modern. It's going to have it paid online, which is something that modern companies do. And now they're going to have their first main title on the system have this modern business practice of season pass DLC. It's them desperately trying to catch up with what has already been established. But all in Nintendo fashion, they don't know what they're doing yet exactly. Like it's what happened with when they entered the market with the Wii U. They were trying to compete
HD
with systems
gaming.
already been around, but they were so far behind in what their system could do. I think the same thing's going to happen. They're trying to compete with what other companies and other game developers are already doing and have been doing, but because they are just getting into it, they haven't overcome any hurdles in how to do it right or wrong. And they'll probably stumble, but I don't doubt it's going to be successful. But it's desperate. It is wholly desperate.
My hope is that if they continue this practice, that they don't go the route of, well, once again, Final Fantasy 15, pulling out content that should have been in the story and you should have gotten with the main package, and then throwing it in as DLC and adding, taking more money from you. Like, that is that's so frustrating
So
when they do
I'm
that
a
kind of
cynical
stuff,
person. I'm very cynical, and
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I don't say. And not to say I hate everything. Like I love Nintendo with a passion, and I'll say that a million times because I really genuinely do.
The comments will
But
say otherwise, but, it's
I'm
okay.
a realist when it comes to how the market's going. They won't fail. They'll always be doing good because they are just Nintendo. Their name will keep them positive within the public perception for as long as they're around. But to me, it's not an if they're going to do what they did with what happened with Final Fantasy 15. It's a matter of time. If it's not going to be Nintendo's main title, it's going to be something else. And with public perception being okay with it, why would they miss out on that? If they're trying to modernize, which they are obviously trying to do, then it would be stupid of them to not do that because it would make them so much money. It's a matter of time. Maybe it's not going to happen within the launch year or any time soon, really. But I can guarantee you right now there might be I'm going to call it. There's going to be a season pass for Super Mario Odyssey.
You heard it
There's
here.
going to be.
Heard it here, guys.
Like, there's going to be.
Is that bad?
I'm calling it. If it's wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, then I'm gonna really
Yeah,
celebrate.
So,
He's gonna.
If it's wrong,
what are we betting? What are we
That's
betting?
a good wine.
What are we betting?
It was white.
we're betting I get the Switch when it drops in price. Because I'm gonna do it anyway. But that's the thing. I'm gonna be like talking shit about.
But he's
Zelda.
still spending money.
I'm
on it.
still going to get it.
Yeah, I'm
because
not even kidding. I'll do the same thing because I just love
like
them.
games first. I can criticize the practices, but I'm there for the experience of the game.
I do plan to get a
Nintendo.
Switch down the line. I will. I'm not, I think everybody here
They're still
probably
getting my
feels
money.
that way. I just, as we spoke on Monday about, it's just I don't want to get it at launch. And we'll just see how things go from launch until a little bit later on down the line. But we'll see. But I guess when it comes to the whole DLC thing, the only thing that we can do is
Vote with our wallets.
vote with your wallet. That's it. If you don't like this practice, don't buy it. Or at least just wait until you see what's actually included in it and then buy it. Don't
Yeah,
do.
see,
I would not
We are a
recommend.
minority.
I would not recommend going out and pre-ordering a day one DLC, which you're not even getting the DLC for that. You're not getting it until summer, basically. You're just getting a few treasure
You're
chests.
just buying these starter items, which
Yeah.
is what's this last? I can't remember anything that's had a season pass that gave you starter items because I've not bought season pass in a while.
I know with
All
New
I know
Vegas. This is actually no. Just New Vegas. Depending on where you pre-ordered it for a while, way back in 2010 or 11.
Yeah, it's all about pre-ordering for GameStop now.
If you pre-ordered at specific
Or Best Buy.
locations, they gave you starting items. In fact, if you
Let's
play
see.
the Ultimate Edition of New Vegas, it starts you off with every pre-order bonus item, which I usually throw away because I hate bonuses.
Isn't it
But-
sitting inside the docks?
No, you just don't in your inventory.
But do you hear what you said there? You didn't say if you bought an expansion or if you pre-ordered an expansion. You said if you pre-ordered the game, which you're already gonna you're already gonna pay the same amount for that game that you've pre-ordered. So why are starter items locked behind a season pass and not just from you pre-ordering the game?
Because they know people are going to pre-order it.
Exactly. They're gonna make lots of money from this because, sorry to say it, a lot of Nintendo fans are just blind followers, and they do
Whoa,
whatever
whoa.
Papa Nintendo says. Hey, I'm
Nintendo?
saying, I'm just saying, a lot of Nintendo fans are that way. Whatever Nintendo does, whatever Nintendo says, they make up an excuse. They say, "Oh, it's okay. Nintendo did it because of this, this, and this. But if another company does it, they try to hang them for it. You know, talking about day one DLC for stuff on the 360 and the PlayStation 3 and all that stuff. Nintendo fans were always like, this doesn't happen. We always get our complete games from day one and we don't need DLC. Then DLC came. Nintendo's DLC is quality. Now they're getting day one DLC. It's like, okay, what are they going to say now, you know?
Yeah. If you can tell me where they get those rose-tinted glasses from, I would love that, because like that Diablo 3's been sitting there collecting dust, and I want to give it a shot.
Yeah, you should.
And now they have that new Reaper of Souls coming out.
No,
come
out.
out. See, I can't do this.
You are. Okay. That's also another discussion.
I can't do this.
Oh God. So, anybody y'all have anything else to say?
We are the vocal minority. And we're gonna vote with our wallets. I know.
And it won't matter.
It won't matter.
Yeah, no,
like,
it won't.
I'm going to continue to vote with my wallet. I've always done that. I mean, I brought what is it? Dark Arisen, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen on Steam because I just want them to make more games on PC.
There you go.
And I've always done that. If there's a game I don't care about much, but I love what they're doing, I'll probably end up throwing some money at it.
It was a very interesting game.
It's cool what they're doing. I want to support those types of things.
Yeah.
But in these types of situations, we are being totally drowned out by a cacophony of people who wholly approve of this type of practice.
Did y'all hear that? He used an SAT word there. Cacophony. Oh my.
Yeah, I haven't heard a word like that since plethora.
I'm in I gotta use that. Somehow.
Oh yeah, this man needs to work hard so we can work at a Starbucks someday.
I'm gonna hang my diploma right behind.
Behind that cashier.
Yeah, when they're giving me tips, they can be like, "Hey, I see you graduated with English degree."
Oh yeah, that's
Hey.
fantastic. As you open a register.
There you
Here's
go.
your check.
So I can write terribly about Nintendo games. It's the only reason I.
Game journalism. Oh man,
Shut up.
Well, if nothing else, thank you guys for joining me here for this little discussion on Breath of the Wild. Care to, tell people anything else about yourselves? If there's any online persona that you have, want to blink
I already
anything?
said mine, but you probably won't find much.
Yeah, you won't find anything
That's
on
fine.
me either. I'm just here for the fun.
Don't worry,
Okay.
you can add Royz on Steam, and he will play every game with you.
What? Leave me alone, all right? I play on offline a lot as it already is.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these guys to get into the YouTube game or something because I mean, they talk some good stuff, man. I think that we should do that. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. You're doing it. I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah. Let's do it.
Making me social? What's wrong with you?
That's right. That's right. That's how we're gonna do this.
Pretty hard.
But down in the comments, let me know if you want to hear these guys back with me discussing different gaming topics. And until next time, signing out, Tundex, Royz, and ZimZam, correct?
Yeah, Dr. ZimZam.
Dr. ZimZam, excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't put doctor in front of. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, it happens.
Until next time, guys, have a good one. Peace.
See you guys.